Hello. Oh, this is going to be serious video. The other day I made a comment about all the Nazi content that seems to be on streaming or on the internet or whatever, and about how I don't think people really change that much. And they just got quiet. And when the Orange Man came in, they kind of like rose up, you know. But seriously, I watched a lot of YouTube stuff, and I couldn't find anything really to watch. This stuff pops up, and it's like half mobster stuff, which fine, but the other half, it literally seems like half is all about Nazis. And I like history, but when I watch this stuff, I get this creepy feeling that, like, from the time they took over Germany until the time they surrendered, some people really portray them as being heroic some way, which is really scary. Really scary. So let's start off with this one. Nazis. Really fucking bad. Really bad. Really, I can't emphasize more. Bad. Evil fucking people. The ones that were left at the end of the war ran and hid. A lot of them in America. It's crazy. People were out searching for them to bring them to justice, and because of what they did. And they all denied it. And some of them didn't deny it, and it said they thought it was the right thing to do. It's like the right thing to do is wipe out 6 million people. And actually, let me tell you something. It was a lot more than that. 6 million documented Jewish people. They weren't counting the gypsies. They weren't counting, and this is an odd thing, the Catholics. For some reason, they went after them. The people, I think they're referred to as the intellectuals. They try to kill off anybody who might say something bad against them. So it was more than 6 million. It was more. It was more than 6 million people. I mean, am I the only one that has noticed this? So I flip over to Netflix to see if I can find something interesting there. And I'm, scrolling down, doing the thing, and I'm like, all of a sudden, here's another whole row of Nazi stuff. So I keep going, keep going, keep going. And then there's more. And this stuff it's not even under documentaries. Forget about that, documentaries. There's a lot of revisionist stuff going on, changing words of books. People going back centuries now saying, oh my God, that's not a good word. Okay, probably wasn't a good word back then either, but that was the word that they used, and that was how people thought. And there isn't a time machine, so you can't go back and you can't tell all those people that what they thought was wrong. So let's let it go. So now we're back here now, and they want to change words in books. I don't agree with it, honestly. I mean, it's somebody's creation. Again, you're looking backwards and saying that was bad, but at the time, that's what was taught. Whether it was good or bad. Hindsight. Yeah. Hindsight is 2020. They say. I think it's a stupid saying. It really is. You can't move forward if you have one foot stuck in the past. There's another one, I think. But honest to God, we're wasting time on some things. How about look at now? Look at what's going on now. I don't know if anybody heard about the guy that owns the pizza shops and what he allegedly, I'll say that, allegedly did to his workers. Sounds so messed up. So messed up. They call them undocumented workers. Okay. I'm assuming they're immigrants to this country. He also happens to be one. I'm pretty sure of that. And if he did what he did, that's wicked fucked up. Wicked fucked up. But it just goes to show things have not changed that much. They really, really haven't. Like I said, some people got quiet. Some people hid away. Some people pretended to be different. Honestly, you don't know who you're talking to. And at the same time, there's kids in high school shooting the places up. I know some people, maybe my friends, are not going to like this, but enough with the shit. Yes, guns are a problem. And the bullets are even worse. I can't imagine when I was 17 years old that I could somehow get a hold of a pistol and go and shoot up my school or do anything like that. It's just so bizarre. It's not even teenagers. It's grown people, grown men, whatever. But even when the Democrats are in charge, I think less gets done about gun stuff. You know, they're supposedly the saviors. I don't know. I owned a shotgun and a rifle in the past. Now I want nothing to do with them. I got target shooting and I did a little hunting, and now I just don't want anything to do with them. Anything to do with them. It's crazy. It's crazy. But there's still people going to argue. I needed to protect myself from somebody else like you, from somebody else who has a gun. So somebody who's only playing with like 36 cards out of the deck or less. I don't know. We're Nazis, white supremacists. I don't think they're really that different. Bunch of white guys who are insecure about everything and feel like everything's been taken from them. Seriously. I don't know. It's just so strange. Karen went into work today and she was going to have her nails done at noontime at Downtown Crossing. I think yesterday somebody was stabbed there. Like, what? I don't know how they do that, because anytime I'm there at Downtown Crossing, there's cameras all around the place. In case you haven't noticed, they have city put up cameras. There's also cops all over the place all the time. But somebody still thought that it might be a good idea to try to kill somebody and stab somebody. I don't know. I'm not saying this because I'm like living in fear or anything else like that. I'll do the best to take care of myself and the people that I care about. But it just is not right. I mean, it just seems like there's this underlying thing. Like, there's a plan by certain people, and if other things work out, that they're just going to like emerge from the underworld or something and just sweep across the country. You know, that January 6th thing again, I guess, was a little like example that I was watching that on TV. And it all seemed fine. They were across the street. I was like, oh, look at them across the street. And then they started walking across the street. I was like, okay, they're walking across the street. And they started running across the street, and then they started climbing. The messed up ones are the ones that were climbing up that wall of the Capitol, which I didn't understand. So like there's staircases on either side, but they thought they had to climb up it. And then it got even crazier after that. But anyway, it really does feel like that there's like this hidden army or something that's just going to, when they get the signal again, when everything falls into place for them, that they're just going to rise up, and they might not necessarily be dressed in leather vests and horns this time and be doing nasty things on Nancy Pelosi's desk or whatever, but what amazed me was the fact that our Capitol, the Capitol building, where the Senate and the House of Representatives was guarded by about 10 cops. That just blew me away. Like, I don't know how many people rushed into that thing, but there was like 10 cops. That's a regular thing. 10 cops. It's the Capitol. You would think they would have protected more. I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, the president has all kinds of protection, and I'm assuming all kinds of stuff that we really can't see and whatever. But then the Congress has 10 cops guiding them the whole time. And that other thing, I kind of thought it was strange that they had surveillance cameras at Nancy Pelosi's house because she's the speaker, I guess. But isn't it awful that nobody was watching the cameras at the time because she wasn't there? It's like they don't give a crap about her husband. I don't know. Is everything getting more bizarre, or is this just the chemo talking? I mean, my brain hasn't been right for a long, long time anyway. But it honestly, some of this stuff happens. It almost feels like it's a hallucination. Like, can't be right. Who would do that? Also, what I've noticed lately, it's like SUV rollover season. I don't know if anybody's seen that, but anytime an SUV is in a crash, it rolls over. And I don't mean just sometimes, it's like every time. It's like every time. I don't know. I gotta get my car seats on my car one of these days. I've been repainting the outside a little at a time. The car's 12 years old. It will definitely be the last car I ever drive or own. But I just got a can of spray paint at Walmart. When I got the thing, it had a lot of scratches on it because it was a rental car. But I just spent a little at a time just painting everything blue. I mean, it was blue, but a different blue. The plastic hubcap things, I painted those blue. I have half the hood done. I have most of the rear end done. And then I got beige seat covers and a beige steering wheel cover. But I've had no energy to do what I need to do in the car to get them on there. And I always have too much crap in the car. I don't know. Most of the cars I've owned in my life have been blue. I thought about that one day. I was like, yeah, almost every car I've ever owned has been blue, and it's never a choice. I never walked in and bought a brand new car and said, no, but I'll take the blue one. No. It's just like, oh, it's blue. I don't give a shit. I had one that was people call the Easter egg, and it seemed to change colors. That was a Hyundai I had. And it had a 72 red Cutlass with a black roof, a black interior. But other than that, I think most of the cars I've owned have been blue. I don't know. So, final thing. beware of the Nazis. They won't come walking up to you wearing a swastika, believe me. They won't be obvious about it. They weren't obvious about it the first time either. Just be careful out there. This world is getting stranger by the minute. So take care. Carry on.